Huge update on the health of The Undertaker. Is his WWE return in jeopardy? Also, Sasha Banks and Charlotte to main event Hell in a Cell. But WWE recently retracted that statement. So right now, nobody knows what's going to headline Hell in a Cell. Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar fight makes Hell in a Cell look unimportant. Also, Mick Foley quits Twitter after a debate with a fan that goes public. Backstage news on Seth Rollins versus Triple H and when that will take place. WWE has already chosen the winner of Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. And the big story this week, Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement to go one-on-one with AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. All this plus so much more on part 1 of Off the Script.
JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. Big Show and Ryback, Strowman and Roman. Get off my fucking TV and save me the misery. And all you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. Is not only the number 1 fucking podcast on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Audio Boom, and Google Play Music, but this is the number 1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes right here on YouTube.com. This is Off the Script, episode 140, part number 1 for you guys to start your weekend off the right fucking way, man. October 21st, thank you so much for joining me right here on Off the Script. Gonna change the format a little bit, man. Gonna change the format a little bit this weekend to appease everybody and to make it easier on me, man. I'm all about making my life easier, and I figured this is the best way to do it. So you guys will see what I'm talking about as we get on with the weekend. A few things I want to go over traditionally like I do in part 1. First thing I want to mention, for everybody that's been watching me and you know of the theme song and who made the theme and who provided the theme for this show, for this podcast, aka Justin Bailey of the Best There Is podcast. I want to shout him out because I feel like I have not done so since he gave me yet another new theme to use. So we have a rotating 3-theme, plethora of themes going on here for Off the Script. And he is the mastermind behind all 3 themes. You guys seem to like the original one the best. So I've been using that one a lot more, the one with Ryback. He altered that one to pretty much go with the entire Eva Marie thing and the Eva Marie dislike from everybody. So he did that. Boy, my voice is fucked up, man. My 2K17 videos are kicking my fucking ass, man. I think I'm going to have to take a couple of days off from that, but not to stray from what I'm talking about. The original song goes Ryback, and then the second one, Eva Marie, and then he made more of a Offspring type or punk vibe to the third one, which is the newest one. And I want to give him a shout out, man. You know, I know everybody's having a difficult time here on YouTube, and he is gracious enough to not even ask me for anything for those themes. So the best that I can do and the most that I can do for him is to shout him out. If you guys don't know who he is, man, great wrestling mind, the Best There Is podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud and Podbean and wherever else you can find your podcast, man. Most importantly, he's on YouTube. So if you guys want to go check him out and subscribe and listen to some good old-fashioned wrestling talk from a fan who is obviously passionate about this business and this industry and what we see on a weekly basis with professional wrestling. He even goes as far as to review the old school WCW Nitros and Raw is War episodes. So if you guys missed the Attitude Era, he is the man for the job to let you know exactly how everybody was feeling and to go over all the big time events that we were so proud to watch back in the day. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Justin Bailey. I'm going to leave his YouTube channel and his Twitter down in the comments, or not in the comments, in the description of this video. Make sure you guys go check him out and tell him that JD sent you over there. And show him some love, man. Show him some love. I know a lot of people are struggling on YouTube nowadays. I don't know whether it's because everybody went back to school and, you know, the school year is in full swing now going into Halloween and then we're going into the holidays. But I know a lot of people in the WWE 2K community are having a difficult time. Views are cut in half. Likes are cut in half. You know, viewership and subs growth is cut in half. I know I'm feeling some of it. I went from gaining 150 subs a day down to like 60, you know? So it sucks to see that, especially when I'm losing my voice and I'm going fucking so hard at this WWE 2K thing. You know, Chris Denker told me, this is your first year doing WWE. If you go full fucking blast with this thing, there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to blow this shit out of the water. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And, you know, being that he said that, that's all the motivation I need, man. Because coming from him, he's the fucking 2K king. So I'm losing my voice in the process. So I hope you guys are appreciating it. And I hope to see some growth out of it, man. I really do. Because right now I'm not really seeing much. And it's kind of discouraging. But I'm having a fucking blast doing it. And I hope you guys are enjoying the 2K series. If you guys want to check out the 2K series, the playlist, there is, I believe, 9 episodes, 10 episodes, roughly, there. So go check that shit out. If you guys want Mr. 9 to 5, my created character, you guys are asking me, JD, what is the idea behind Mr. 9 to 5? It's me. I work 9 to 5 every single time I go to work. I am Mr. 9 to 5, man. I am the man behind the fucking created character. You know, so you guys go check that out and live vicariously through me as I commentate over all the big happenings in my career mode. That is down below. I would appreciate you guys. This is the most watched thing on my channel, so if everybody collectively shows some support and some love, those videos, man, we'll do fantastic. So thank you guys for that, and please go check that out if you have not done so. I know watching video games and people play video games on YouTube might not be your cup of coffee, but, you know, if you guys love me and are excited about what I do here and you want to support the channel, please go and do that, man. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Patreon.com, if you guys want to support the podcast and you guys want to pledge monthly, you guys obviously can go to patreon.com/JD from NY206. Check out all the perks over there. Check out the mission statement, read that shit, and learn why I'm here, man. Seriously, learn why I'm doing this. Get an idea of where I came from, why I'm doing this, why I started a YouTube channel, my love for professional wrestling. It's all there. You guys get early access. You guys get, you know, early access to Out of Nowhere and, you know, gaming streams. I'm going to start streaming a lot more now. You know, we got Modern Warfare Remastered coming out and Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2, and we got Universe Mode. You guys are going to be fucking full of content right here going into the winter months. I am going to overload you guys with so much shit, man. You guys are going to be entertained all winter to the point where you're not even going to realize there's a winter, man, because I'm going to keep you guys warm and I'm going to keep you guys entertained, man. Fuck a hot cup of cocoa. JD has got you covered. I'm fucking hitting my microphone. Anyway, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Please, if you guys want to donate and pledge to the show. If you guys don't want to do that, there's 2 other ways you can do that. Number 1, PayPal me. That's the easiest way to do it. Other than that, Barbershop Window, man. Get your merchandise. Barbershopwindow.com. And go to the main menu, go to the home screen, type in Off the Script. You're going to be taken right to my online shop. We are an official partner. They are a subsidiary of Pro Wrestling Tees. So make sure you guys get your official merchandise, man. Get Off My TV. 4 versions of that. The Goon City t-shirt, the gray Off the Script logo. $19.99. Wherever you are in this world, on this planet, you guys will get a t-shirt. They ship worldwide. That's barbershopwindow.com. And that Eva Marie shirt, man. I want to see people getting that Eva Marie shirt, man. Slow down a little bit. And I know she's not on the television right now because she's off filming whatever the fuck she's filming. If it's not for Pornhub.com, I quite frankly don't fucking care. But she's all filming something. That's why the shirts have slowed down. But Roman Reigns, Big Show, Ryback, Braun Strowman, they're all there. Make sure you guys go and get your off-the-script merchandise today. Barbershopwindow.com. Slam Crate by Loot Crate. The deadline is over. The deadline is over, man. But if you guys want to order for the next installment, you guys can do that as well. Link is down below, man. This is WWE official licensed product. I am sponsored by Loot Crate, and I'm giving you guys the option to save money on your first crate. Use the link that I provide down below in the description of this video, and you will save 10% off your first purchase with WWE Slam Crate by Loot Crate, man. Use the coupon code JD from NY at checkout, and you're going to save yourself some money. Same thing, man. If you don't want Loot Crate, which is a bi-monthly crate, and you guys want to go to every month, WrestleCrate has got you covered, man. WrestleCrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Use the coupon code JDSENTME for an instant 10% off your first purchase. That's the regular crate and the Big Daddy, the ultimate crate, which is an unbelievable savings in itself, man. T-shirts, autographs, action figures, Funko Pop, action figures from Mattel, Topps trading cards, Top Elite trading cards in the box, man. You name it, exclusive merchandise. That's WrestleCrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. JD sent me for an instant 10% off. And finally, my friends over at WrestleRumble.com, this coming week, I want you guys to keep an eye on Wrestle Rumble, man. We are headed towards Hell in a Cell, and they have an unbelievable first prize for the winner of this Hell in a Cell pick'em. Now, Wrestle Rumble is a competition. You buy in, okay? It's $5 per entry, and I believe 10 per 3 entries. So if you guys want the better chance to win, obviously you're going to go with the more entries. But it is a buy-in process. You buy your entry, and then you fill out a questionnaire that Matt and everybody over at Wrestle Rumble is going to send you. They're going to come up with a bunch of questions. You're going to answer these questions to the best of your knowledge. You're going to guess the winners, the types of situations, the types of moments that you think are going to happen at Hell in a Cell. And if you end up winning first prize, if you end up beating everybody, and there's some big names in this, man. LeBar, Solomonster, Ryan Satin, people from in and around the community take part in this. If you can beat all of these beasts in this pick'em contest, you're not only going to win $500 cash, which is a great prize in itself, but you are going to receive 2 lower-level tickets to the Alamo Dome in the Royal Rumble. 2 lower-level tickets to the Royal Rumble 2017, and who doesn't want to go to the fucking Royal Rumble, man? Unbelievable. WrestleRumble.com. Keep an eye on their website and keep an eye on my Twitter, man. I will be retweeting anything that they send my way. So, WrestleRumble.com, Hell in a Cell Pick'em is coming up. Twitter, if you guys want to follow me, JD from NY206, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so, JD from NY206. Thank you guys for all of that. Let's get into the news. Speaking of the Alamo Dome, speaking of the Royal Rumble, this story has began to gain traction. And I first heard about this from Solomonster on his podcast last week, Sound Off, and he mentioned this before anybody else that I know, that I listen to, mentioned this. He talked about a perfect scenario for the WWE Championship, the Alamo Dome, and to sell tickets and to fill that arena with 70,000 people. And he came up with a brilliant idea, which I think WWE should bend over backwards to appease him, to get him there. Shawn Michaels. Will he come out of retirement? I don't know. I really don't know. The one scenario that I wanted for Shawn Michaels to come out of retirement obviously would not be against AJ Styles. Somewhere in the back of my mind, fantasy world, The Undertaker is near retirement. The Undertaker's not going to be around forever. Honestly, the way I see it, I don't want anybody on the current roster to retire The Undertaker. Not Cena, not a Balor, not an Owens, not a Lesnar. Nobody. Nobody on the current roster. Not a Samoa Joe. None of those guys will do justice to what The Undertaker means to WrestleMania and to the WWE. And more importantly, people like me and you who grew up with this man, and we watched him every step of the way growing up. He is a huge part of our childhood. He's in some sense, some of the biggest parts of our life when we watch WWE. The Undertaker has been there for 25 plus years. And I've always had it in the back of my mind, if I was to pick one person to retire The Undertaker at WrestleMania, who would it be? And I always think back to Shawn Michaels. If Shawn Michaels was the one man to go against The Undertaker and challenge the streak and lose and sit out and retire gracefully and peacefully, whereas other people say it, they do it, and then they come back. If there was one man to retire The Undertaker, I know he's living his life and he's sticking to his word, but it would be Shawn Michaels to retire The Undertaker. That, to me, would be Shawn Michaels coming back home to the WWE, coming out of retirement, challenging The Undertaker one more time. Now, it would have been great. It would have been great if the streak was still intact. Shawn Michaels comes back out of retirement, beats The Undertaker, and he's the one who takes the streak. That would have been fantastic. I don't think anybody would have gone against Shawn Michaels taking the streak and then retiring The Undertaker just like The Undertaker retired Shawn Michaels. That would have been absolutely fucking biblical storytelling and writing by WWE to make that happen. But it still could work now. The Undertaker is still the most important part of WrestleMania. People watch WrestleMania to see who's The Undertaker going up against, what type of match is this going to be. The aura that is Undertaker, everything that is the essence of WrestleMania is The Undertaker. And Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement to retire The Undertaker and both of them sail off into the sunset, riding on horseback, I think that would be one of the most memorable moments in the history of this business, if it happened. That's my scenario. That's my fantasy dream scenario. But what Solomonster said on his podcast seems to be making traction right now. A lot of different places have picked this up and spawned it off as news. Meanwhile, I haven't heard anything else about this besides from his mouth. This is merely a fantasy booking scenario. This was not made to look like some big, elaborate plan by WWE, but now it seems to be gaining traction. Retirements in wrestling are rarely written in stone. In many cases, they're not even written in ink. There have been many examples of someone having a retirement match only to go back on their word and wrestle again for that promotion or another. It's happened too many times in WWE to too many stars in the past. But Shawn Michaels was one of those guys who kept his word despite the WWE Universe begging him for just one more match. The Heartbreak Kid hasn't wrestled since losing his retirement match to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26. I love the match, but it was nowhere near the classic that was 25. One of the best matches ever, my favorite match of all time at WrestleMania 25. If you guys wanted a little fun fact, there, it had everything. Brilliant fucking match, unbelievable. It's been 6 years, but the WWE Universe still wants to see him have one more match. Obviously, WrestleMania would be the ideal situation for the self-proclaimed Mr. WrestleMania to return to the ring if he was to ever do so. However, it's not just about finding the right place. Finding the right opponent is just as important. Recently, it was announced that WWE would be holding the Royal Rumble pay-per-view in San Antonio for the first time in 20 years. The expectation is that it will be the biggest Royal Rumble pay-per-view in the history of this company. Needless to say, WWE has huge plans for the pay-per-view. Stone Cold, The Undertaker, and others have been rumored for appearances, but WWE could have even bigger plans for the Heartbreak Kid at this event. A possible return match for Shawn Michaels has been rumored several times over the past 6 years, with many situations seeming to be the right one. For WrestleMania 32, there were rumors about HBK coming out of retirement or having a bigger role on the show. Of course, he made an appearance alongside Mick Foley and Stone Cold Steve Austin, but a full program on WWE TV and a match would need to be the perfect situation. A new report may have presented itself the perfect situation for Shawn Michaels to return to a WWE ring. It is being reported that WWE officials are trying to convince HBK to come out of retirement for one more match at next year's Royal Rumble in San Antonio against AJ Styles. Apparently, WWE officials have made him an offer for the match, which means the ball is in Shawn Michaels' court, and he has a decision to make. There is never going to be a better scenario for him to return to a WWE ring for one more match. Not only is the Heartbreak Kid versus the Phenomenal One a dream match of dream matches. Holy shit, is this a fucking dream match. The only time you can see this match is literally sleeping or in WWE 2K17. This is never going to happen. Never going to happen otherwise. Right now, there's a chance that this could happen. But the match would take place at the biggest WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view in history in Shawn Michaels' backyard. AJ Styles has already admitted that he'd love to wrestle Shawn Michaels, which shouldn't surprise anybody. The real question is if Shawn Michaels wants to come out of retirement to wrestle the Phenomenal One. It's not only an issue of desire, because HBK hasn't wrestled a match in over 6 years, which is a long time to be away from the ring. He's been working at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, so that may have given him the itch to get back. As epic as it would be to see Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles in a WWE ring, the reality is that the WWE Universe may have to settle for the match staying a fantasy. However, stranger things have happened, and WWE will likely throw a lot of money at HBK to make the 2017 Royal Rumble as big as possible. Shawn will be making an appearance at the show. San Antonio is well known to be HBK's city, so he won't miss the opportunity to steal the show once again. The only thing is that Michaels coming out of retirement to face AJ Styles in what could be a WWE Championship match at the biggest Royal Rumble ever in San Antonio would do a lot more than just steal the show. It would change the business forever. That's a lot to digest, man. That really is a lot to digest. Now, there were no sources given in this report. There were no sources as I had expected, because this was merely a fantasy booking scenario that snowballed into a story which everybody is now reporting. I don't know whether this is being reported or not. I don't know if WWE is throwing money at Shawn Michaels to get him at WrestleMania, or not at the Royal Rumble, but it's certainly something that should be discussed. And the WWE, they want to do these big events, right? They want to fucking blow the roof off in a coliseum or a stadium. That's something unheard of for anything outside of WrestleMania, especially with the WWE product, man. With the ratings being as low as ever and interest in the product that's not really there, they're going back to the Alamo Dome to seat 70,000 people. Obviously, this is a huge opportunity for WWE to give us, the fans, something that we so desperately deserve. But what does this mean for the overall product? What does this mean for the overall product? Honestly. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about anything about Shawn Michaels. He's one of my favorites of all time. Heel Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite WWE superstars ever, of all time. Back when he was the Intercontinental Champion feuding with Razor Ramon and Bret Hart, he was the quintessential fucking heel. You know? Coming out wearing his outfit as the Heartbreak Kid and coming out with Sensational Sherry and wearing that fucking gold around his waist. All of us watching him as young children wanted to be Shawn Michaels. And from there, we grew up watching him until his retirement against The Undertaker. And then we all shed a tear because he was walking away forever. Shawn Michaels coming back to the WWE for one more match against AJ Styles will bring an interest to the product that hasn't been seen in years. But no matter how great that sounds, that's also a huge deterrent. That's also a huge negative against the WWE. If you're bringing somebody back like Shawn Michaels out of retirement to fight AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, you know, what does that mean for everybody else on the roster? What does that mean? If you're a WWE superstar on Smackdown and you're looking at this and you're hearing this shit and you're realizing that WWE is trying to coax Shawn Michaels to come out of retirement to fill 70,000 seats at the Alamo Dome, what does that mean to you? If you're a SmackDown Live superstar on that active roster, it means WWE has no faith in anybody on that roster to go one-on-one with AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble because they don't believe anybody could seat 70,000 people in that arena. And that's true. But whose fault is that? You listen to this and you realize how fucked up WWE is. How much they fucked up over the years for them failing to build new stars. If you have to go and coax Shawn Michaels out of retirement and throw him all this money to fill 70,000 people at the Alamo Dome at the Royal Rumble in a championship match against AJ Styles, no matter how fucking amazing that sounds, there's so much negative and so much bad that is underneath that fucking epic announcement. And nobody's gonna think about that. But here I am thinking about it. And you guys, I'm sure, if you have a fucking brain, you're realizing that as well. Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton, John Cena, right? Everybody but John Cena. If they want to make a storyline for that, I don't even think John Cena is good enough to fill 70,000 people, to get people interested to go watch the Royal Rumble. You know? We've seen it already. Twice. You know? How many of you would be jumping out of your seats if WWE said, you know what, we're going to put AJ Styles versus John Cena in the WWE Championship match, and this is going to be Cena's attempt at tying Ric Flair's World Championship record? How many people are going to jump out of their seats and go online to Ticketmaster.com and try to buy tickets for this thing? Not many. I don't see how it's going to generate any excitement whatsoever. Now, with Shawn Michaels coming back, if you announce Shawn Michaels and you have him come back on television for 4 weeks to build to this match, why he's coming back, and you develop a story, why he's back, that's obviously going to make people say, you know what, I have to see this, because this is never going to happen again. This is never going to happen as long as I am alive in the WWE. I have to be there. Cena and Styles, yeah, it's going to happen several times over the next year. So, all of this, no matter how great it sounds, it just looks pathetic on WWE's part, and it makes everybody on the SmackDown roster look fucking worthless. And that's WWE's fault. They have not built new stars. They have not put trust in anybody on that roster, both SmackDown and Raw. When a situation like this comes up, where they can point to somebody and say, you're the man, you're going to go into the Alamo Dome and you're going to seat 70,000 people, you're going to go one-on-one with AJ Styles, and you're going to fucking sell this pay-per-view out for this company. There's not anybody on that roster besides a Brock Lesnar, besides an Undertaker, besides a John Cena, that's going to go in there and sell out arenas across the United States. 3 of those men, 2 of them are part-time. One on his way to being part-time. Don't you see the issue? Don't you see the problem here? No matter how great this sounds, and I'm not saying I'm against this, I'm the goon sitting here telling you I'm for it, because WWE has no other choice. They have no other opportunity. They have no other situation right now. You are not going to sell out a Royal Rumble for 70,000 people at that Alamo Dome based on anybody else you have on that roster to go against AJ Styles for that championship match. The Royal Rumble is fantastic. It's my favorite match of the year. But you're not going to seat 70,000 people to go watch a Royal Rumble with modern-day WWE failing ratings, boring product, no direction, lack of interest at all-time highs. You're not going to seat 70,000 people with what WWE is presenting on television right now. You're not. I don't blame them for going to get Shawn Michaels. But then again, they don't have a choice. They want to book the Alamo Dome after rumors going around that it was going to be in Chicago and Los Angeles at the Staples Center. No, they want to go fucking 10 steps higher than that. Instead of filling the fucking Staples Center, which seats 15,000 people, which would have been fine. No, they want to fucking up the ante, right? At the poker table. You're sitting there with pocket aces, all in, you know? And meanwhile, WWE doesn't know on the opposite side of the table, someone's looking at pocket aces as well, and then on the river, and then when the fucking flop comes, you see more cards on the table in which the other opponent is looking at his cards, knowing that he's got WWE beat. That's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening, you know? WWE went from Staples Center to Alamo Dome. 15,000 to 70,000. Unless they know Shawn Michaels is coming back, there's no reason to fucking book this event in the Alamo Dome. Yeah, history says, you know what? 10 years, every 10 years, the Alamo Dome, every 10 years, you know? 1997, 2007, 2017. But you got to understand what this is doing to your roster and your morale. You're automatically making people think, you know what? We're not good enough. WWE's got to go and get Shawn Michaels to fill this event because they have nobody else on this roster to go one-on-one with AJ Styles to fill that event. And on top of that, they're already talking about Rollins versus Triple H at the event as well. So you're going out and getting Shawn Michaels to fight AJ Styles, and you're bringing back Triple H, who is your COO, to go one-on-one with another active talent. 2 part-timers in your biggest matches, not only of this event, but probably of the year. 2 part-timers. Not even 1 part-time. Both retired. You might as well go that stretch. Both are retired. Two retired WWE superstars back when the Attitude Era was fucking thriving. Two names associated with every inch, every fucking blood, sweat, and tear situation back in the Attitude Era. You gotta dip back into the Attitude Era to find guys like Michaels and Triple H to sell out this event. I don't know, man. I like it, but there's so much eye-raising situations that comes along with that when you announce Shawn Michaels and WWE throwing money at Shawn Michaels to have him come back at the Royal Rumble. I want to see it. Of course we want to see it. There's nobody who is a wrestling fan that's going to say, you know what, I don't want to see that. You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. If you tell me in the comment section, JD, I have no interest in this match, you are a fucking liar. You're a goon. I don't believe you for a goddamn fucking millisecond. There's no way you can sit here and tell me you do not want to see that match. You'll be the ones fucking sitting in front of your television with a box of tissues and some fucking Vaseline jerking off to the fucking television. Those are the people who are going to tell me, oh, I'm not interested in it. Low key, they'll be fucking jerking off to the sight of Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles staring down in front of 70,000 fucking people at the Alamo Dome as fucking cameras and flashlights go off. Come on, bro. Yeah, I want to see it, but I'm here to tell you guys what is so wrong with that situation. And that's just the way WWE is, and that's the way it's going to be, because they have no interest in building new stars. The way Monday Night Raw is being booked, the way Monday Night Raw has been booked for the last 4 years, the way Smackdown is currently being booked right now, they are not building new stars. And when situations like this come up, they have their back against the wall, and they have to call Shawn Michaels. They have to call The Rock. They have to call Stone Cold. They have to call The Undertaker, who just had hip replacement. They have to get Triple H on the phone. Send them an email. Hey, bro, you want to fucking fight at WrestleMania? Yeah, sure, why not? You know, come on, man. You know, I'm all about giving back and having moments like this happen, which will never come around, ever. But you gotta realize, you gotta understand the reality of it. It is not good for the overall product. No matter how great. This could be the greatest match ever if it takes place. But what does that say to everybody else on your roster? Both Raw and SmackDown. We're not good enough. And whose fault is that? It's WWE. Moving on here, I mentioned Lesnar versus Goldberg. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. Triple H versus Seth Rollins. They're talking about this match taking place at the Royal Rumble as well. Most successful mentors and apprentice relationships in wrestling end up developing a rivalry sooner than later. The current conflict between Seth Rollins and Triple H is no exception, I should say. We just don't know when WWE will pull the trigger on this feud. Rollins is still seeking revenge against the game and costing him the WWE Universal Championship and ensuring that Kevin Owens took his spot at the top of the card. It's only a matter of time until Triple H versus Rollins comes to a head, and the word on the street right now is that WWE will be looking to boost the card for the Royal Rumble. According to reports, the latest news is that WWE officials are not going to wait for WrestleMania to book Rollins versus Triple H. Instead, we're likely to see that match at the Alamo Dome at the Royal Rumble next year to boost the card. Rollins' recent babyface run is working, and a victory over the game is going to catapult him into a huge match at WrestleMania 33, which will likely be for the Universal Championship and could be the main event of WrestleMania. One problem I have here with this match, why are they waiting so long to have Triple H come out and explain to us why he did what he did? We had a great moment. Everybody fucking marked the fuck out for it when Triple H pretty much handed the Universal Championship to Kevin Owens. But what was Triple H's reason? We're now coming to the end of October and no answer from Triple H. He hasn't even been shown on Monday Night Raw. He hasn't made an appearance on Monday Night Raw since. So what the fuck is the reason? Why did he do what he did? Who's going to care now why Triple H did what he did? This should have been answered the following week. And it should have been an ongoing storyline. But no, WWE thinks it makes sense for them not to say anything at all. So that when we get to this match, who's going to fucking care about it? Nobody. Right now, my interest is at an all-time low for Seth Rollins and Triple H. All-time low. Because WWE did not deliver an answer to its audience about why Triple H fucked over Rollins and Reigns and helped Kevin Owens win the Universal Championship. And ever since Kevin Owens won the championship, he's been looked at as nothing. He's been booked as a miserable fucking champion. But it's Kevin Owens' fault that the Monday Night Raw ratings are in the fucking tank. Right? And then you look at the ratings on Monday night. Nobody on the active roster drew any interest to boost ratings. The only reason why Monday Night Raw drew a 3.1 rating is because Bill Goldberg was there. And people waited 8, 9, 10, up to 11 o'clock for this guy to come out. And WWE had everybody waiting for Goldberg to come out, and they were forced to sit through that miserable, bleach-inducing show. And when Goldberg finally came out at 11:05 and stayed on television until about 11:20, people went to sleep happy, nostalgia kicked in, and they'll be right back to the fucking 2.4 that they were just last week. Again, it goes to show you what I said. Look at the names that are boosting Monday Night Raw. Goldberg. Someone who hasn't been relevant in wrestling since he was in WCW. Even when he came to the WWE, he didn't have that type of impact. The luster and the overall excitement that was Goldberg was never the same when WCW collapsed. And now they're using him to boost ratings in WWE, you know, like a Band-Aid. Like a Band-Aid on a fucking severe cut, you know? That won't stop bleeding. Yeah, they put the Band-Aid. The Band-Aid was Bill Goldberg. What happens when the Band-Aid peels off? You wash your hands, you take a shower. Band-Aid's starting to peel off. You got to put another Band-Aid on it. That's exactly what WWE is doing in terms of Monday Night Raw. Now, what's going to happen? They got Brock Lesnar on Monday night from Minneapolis. What are people going to do now? They're going to watch Monday Night Raw again and sit through another bleach-inducing show just to get the Brock Lesnar so that he speaks to Bill Goldberg now and accepts the challenge? And we play Ring Around the Rosie here. What happens when they're not on Monday Night Raw? Those are the ratings people should pay attention to. Those are the ratings people need to pay attention to, not the ones with Bill Goldberg. Of course people are going to watch Bill Goldberg when he's on ESPN and he's fucking hyping the game and you hype all week that he's coming to Monday Night Raw for the first time in 12 years. Of course people are going to watch. I got people on my Twitter timeline who haven't watched wrestling in years who watched fucking Bill Goldberg come back. And the only reason why people watched was because of that. Are those people going to watch the next week and the next week and the next week? No, they're not. And if they do, they're going to watch this one particular match and care for this one particular match and not give a fuck about anything else. And when this is done and over with and this goes on, that's it. It's over. The ratings go right back to where they were. 2.3, 2.4, 2.1, right? In the ones. But you're okay with Goldberg coming back and getting a 3-1. That's something to be excited about. The fucking goons in Stamford, Connecticut, they're jumping for joy, 3.1. What are you jumping for joy for? It's not because of your fucking talent. It's because of Bill Goldberg, who hasn't been there in 12 years. What the fuck are you jumping for joy for? What are you excited about the ratings for? Nothing that your guys did. Everything having to do with Goldberg. And what happens when he's not there? He'll be fucking bitching, moaning, and crying. Oh, the ratings don't mean nothing. Yeah, but the ratings mean something now when you got a 3.1 because Bill Goldberg was there. Give me a fucking break. That's how stupid WWE is. Speaking on Goldberg and Lesnar, some of this might anger most of you, if not all. Because I know there are already some people proclaiming they don't want to see this match. It's bullshit. It's going to be boring. Suplex after suplex after suplex. And the other guy's 50 years old. Well, to anger some of you, if not all of you, WWE has already chosen the winner of Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. The biggest question surrounding a big match like Goldberg versus Lesnar is about who will win. All the anticipation is about who will win and who will lose. And it also is the biggest question that WWE officials have to answer before it becomes a reality. For Goldberg versus Lesnar, both men could win the match, which makes the contest very exciting and interesting. On the other hand, it also makes it tricky because one of them has to lose the match. The question is, which one will WWE choose? Did Goldberg return to WWE after 12 years just to lose to Brock Lesnar? WWE just needs WWE WWE just needs to question which one of the two men will be more money in the long term, and the answer to that is undoubtedly Brock Lesnar, which is the way WWE is leaning. According to a report from Cage Side Seats, the plan was always for Brock Lesnar to get the win over Goldberg, and as of this writing, there is virtually zero chance that WWE will change the outcome of the match in favor of Goldberg. It could crush Brock Lesnar's momentum as an unstoppable force, and the belief is that Goldberg will only have one match. What would he do with a win of that magnitude? Nothing. Nothing. He will do nothing with that victory. There is obviously and clearly the right choice here, and that is Brock Lesnar. Goldberg is coming back for a payday. Goldberg is coming back to hype the game. Goldberg is coming back to have his son see him in a wrestling ring. Now with the reaction and the merchandise I'm assuming that's going to be coming, and the subscriptions and everything else that comes along with Goldberg injecting some momentum and life into this lifeless product, being that he's 50 years old and he hasn't been there in 12 years, WWE might see this as a huge win-win situation, and they might give Goldberg another run, another moment, which would be at WrestleMania. I'm hearing Roman Reigns. That's all I'm hearing in terms of Goldberg. Spear versus spear. They'll build a match off of that. And obviously Goldberg would put Roman Reigns over, and Roman Reigns, again, feed him to somebody else, you know? Roman Reigns fed another WWE superstar, as if everybody else didn't do a bad enough job, right? Vince McMahon, Daniel Bryan, you fucking killed 4 guys' careers because of Roman Reigns. Triple H. How many guys? You know, you're going to add Goldberg to the list to get Roman Reigns over? Nobody cares. It's not going to do anything. It's going to be cool to see, but it's not going to do anything in terms of getting this guy over. It's pointless. So, obviously Lesnar's going to be the one. Because I'm hearing Lesnar's going to have a big-time match at WrestleMania. I'm hearing rumors of Lesnar winning the fucking Universal Championship at Royal Rumble. Goldberg is losing. And if you guys thought for a second Goldberg is going to win, there's something fucking wrong with you. There's no way a man who is 50 years old and coming back for, right now, what it seems like one match. There's no reason at all why Goldberg needs this win. Oh, well, JD, Lesnar won at WrestleMania 20. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? This is not the same Brock Lesnar from WrestleMania 20. Okay? This Brock Lesnar is out for blood. He kills. He has the streak. You're not going to have Brock Lesnar lose to a returning 50-year-old Goldberg. I'm sorry. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And I'm sticking to my guns. Nakamura or Samoa Joe. That is it. Those are the only 2 people on this roster, period, that should even come close to beating Brock Lesnar. Finally, guys, I'm going to end it right here with this Mick Foley situation. This is hilarious, yet fucked up at the same time. WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley quits Twitter after a debate with a fan via DM goes public. So this fan got Mick Foley to reply to them via DM, and this person, I believe it was a female, took this DM and made it public for everybody to see, and obviously it was picked up by every dirt sheet under the fucking sun. Hall of Fame star Mick Foley has always been open with fans on social media. He has responded to fan comments on both Twitter and Facebook, and it now sounds like he has even more direct messages to fans in response to comments, opening up a dialogue that really seems above and beyond in today's world of celebrities. So Mick Foley is, even going as far as direct messaging people and some fans via Twitter after some fan concerns. So this is pretty interesting. However, it sounds like that has come to an end, as Mick Foley on Twitter stated that a fan making a direct message public has caused him to choose not to talk to fans through direct messaging anymore. Mick Foley also said that he will be leaving Twitter for the next week. I quote, "Unfortunately, due to a fan posting DMs that were obviously meant to stay private, I will no longer be able to communicate with fans by DM. This seems like a good time to take a break from Twitter. Catch up with you again on 10/24. End quote. Wrestling websites such as WrestleZone found the messages that a fan posted online from the conversation. In the Mick Foley Twitter direct message, Mick reached out to the fan after that fan made comments that the WWE needs to push Summer Rae now on Monday Night Raw. In the Mick Foley Twitter post, Foley asked the fan why they felt now was the time to talk about pushing another female wrestler when Sasha Banks and Charlotte were about to have a fight in Hell in a Cell. What Foley called the biggest match in WWE history. Mick Foley is a fucking... I don't want to sound disrespectful, but Mick Foley's opinion is jaded. Mick Foley is not the same Mick Foley that he was 2 years ago. At all. Mick Foley is nothing but a WWE fucking corporate puppet right now. And it's sick. The biggest match in WWE history? No, it's not. It's not. So it's bigger than Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan, right? It's bigger than the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, right? The biggest match in WWE history? Give me a fucking break. Honestly. This guy has a job with WWE and he's become nothing but a fucking loser. Sucking the cock, the corporate cock of WWE. The biggest match in WWE history. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the match isn't going to be historic. Because then I'd be lying. But to call it the biggest match in WWE history? Come on, man. Give me a fucking break. The match that you were in at King of the Ring in fucking Pittsburgh. This guy is a fucking retard. Seriously. Seriously. I don't know. Brock Lesnar beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania, though the match was fucking terrible. Oh, I don't know. I mean, you're gonna hold these two women on that type of pedestal in comparison to The Undertaker losing his fucking streak at WrestleMania? Or The Undertaker retiring Shawn Michaels? Or The Undertaker retiring, this and that? Or Shawn Michaels retiring Ric Flair? Come on, bro. Are you fucking out of your mind? Just right then and there, you know Mick Foley is a fucking retard. The fan responded to Mick Foley on Twitter that the WWE was pushing the same two wrestlers against each other every week, which is true. It's true. In the women's division, while there are 9 women on the Raw roster. 9 women on the Raw roster. And this person said 7 of them are just standing there doing nothing. Nothing. Mick Foley asked the fan to be more respectful because he was reaching out to talk to them as a courtesy. It's a courtesy that Mick Foley is talking to me via Twitter as if he's some important figure in this world. Bro, you run a fucking horrible television show, Monday Night Raw, and you play the role of a commissioner. Yet, it's a courtesy that he's reaching out to fans. And first of all, why are fans reaching out to Mick Foley? This guy does absolutely fucking nothing as if he books the shows. As if he has any creative direction on what's going on with anybody on the roster. This guy stands there and takes a public lashing from Stephanie McMahon each and every fucking week. So why are you reaching out to him? What point is it, or of yours, to reach out to Mick Foley? He means nothing to the show. He's a fucking puppet. He's the puppet dancing on strings. You give him an order, he's got to go out and do it. If not, you're fired. He has nothing to do with how the shows are booked. What the fuck are you talking about? Mick Foley asked the fan to be more respectful because he was reaching out as a courtesy. The conversation seemed to ease up after that. The Mick Foley Twitter conversation continued as the fan apologized to Mick Foley and then said that the other women deserved a chance as well. Foley pointed out that in 2015 there were a ton of women pushed after the Divas Revolution started and it caused to fizzle it out. However, now there's a personal feud between two wrestlers and it's heating up again. Mick Foley did say that WWE is planning on pushing more of the women in the future, but want to give all the women a chance to shine instead of pushing everyone at the same time. The fan listed matches and moments that made them believe that Summer Rae deserved a push and Mick Foley said that he would watch them. The fan posted the conversation online, and that caused a Mick Foley Twitter blackout as he steps away from directly talking to fans on social media anymore. Listen, Mick Foley doesn't give a fuck about Summer Rae. WWE Creative is not going to give a fuck about Summer Rae. The people in the back who are the ones you should be reaching out to don't give a fuck about Summer Rae. WWE, all they want to do is fucking stroke their own ego in the world of wrestling and pretend that some big event is happening with Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Meanwhile, the fucking feud is dead. The feud has lost its fucking attraction. You already gave the title to Sasha Banks weeks before the pay-per-view, so what's the fucking point? What are we doing? You're having these two women inside Hell in a Cell. I would have cared a little bit more if Sasha was going in the challenger instead of the champion. But no. WWE thinks that, oh, we're putting them inside Hell in a Cell. It's going to be some big deal. No, that's your pathetic attempt to fucking stroke your own ego and put two women in a match they have no business being in. No matter how the structure has been ruined over the years, at least pay some level of respect to what that structure meant to the era of wrestling that we enjoyed most. Come on, man. What are these women going to do in the cage? What are they going to fucking pull hair? They're going to slap each other around, right? Meanwhile, the days of fucking Shawn Michaels hanging on the cell from one hand as he falls through fucking Jim Ross's announce table laying at his feet. The days of Kane ripping the fucking door off and fucking hellfire and brimstone happening right before our eyes as he's tombstoning his own fucking brother. Right? As Shawn Michaels stands there bloodied. Mick Foley, the man we're talking about, flying off the fucking cage twice and then getting chokeslammed onto thumbtacks while Terry Funk is being chokeslammed out of his fucking shoes. Right? Vince McMahon coming down with a stretcher. Mick Foley fucking saying everybody, oh fuck yourself. Get away from me. Guy's fucking climbing up the cage with a tooth in his fucking nose. Chokeslam through the structure on top of a steel chair. Yeah. But we're supposed to be excited about Hell in a Cell in 2016. It does nothing to WWE. It does nothing for the women's division. Nothing. What type of division is this? It's the Sasha Banks and Charlotte division. Where's Nia Jax? Where's Alicia Fox? Where's Summer Rae? Where's Tamina? Where are these women? You drafted women. What the fuck are they doing? Where are they? I don't get it. And Mick Foley is the wrong person to be talking to. He means nothing to Monday Night Raw. He's nothing but a character. Comes out dressed in fucking flannel. Comes out dressed in fucking checkerboard suits. This is the guy you're fucking asking questions to? Email WW, call their offices. You might get a better answer. This guy's not going to tell you anything. This guy plays a character on television. He's a fucking puppet that has his balls being held, choked by Stephanie McMahon. This guy's going to give you the answers you want? It's pathetic. It is pathetic. No more to be said about it. No more to be said about it. But this is not a division. This is not a revolution. This is a Sasha Banks and Charlotte revolution. But we don't want to have all the women on the show at the same time. We want to give women a chance. I don't know. Smackdown seems to have 2 or 3 different women's segments per 2-hour show. You know? They had Alexa Bliss and Naomi go 10 minutes, and then they gave Naomi and then they gave Nikki Bella and Carmella 10 minutes. Being that it was cringe, but you had 20 minutes of your 2-hour show dedicated to 4 women. Why can't we get that on Monday Night Raw? What is the fucking problem with giving us women? Dana Brooke and Bayley. I'd rather see fucking anybody else in the ring than Dana Brooke. And Bayley, she comes up to the main roster. I don't know how you guys feel, but anybody that steps foot on Monday Night Raw, by default, they just feel unimportant. Bayley is so amazing at what she does. She feels like a fucking nobody on Monday Night Raw. Because WWE has her fight Dana Brooke every fucking week. And then they put Bayley in a ring with a jobber. Raw is clueless. Mick Foley is clueless. The people that run that show are clueless. It's not a division. It's not a revolution. It's nothing but WWE pandering to their own fucking ego, pretending to be the end-all be-all in wrestling by putting Sasha and Charlotte inside Hell in a Cell. Awful. Awful. I hope the match fucking flops, because I'm not excited about it. I'd be shocked if I see something I actually like in that match. 2 women inside a cage. What are they going to do? Stupid. I'm glad this fucking fan exposed Mick Foley, because this guy is nothing but a fucking corporate puppet. Completely different. Completely changed man. This was the guy complaining about Daniel Bryan not getting what he deserved, right? This is the guy who complained about the women's revolution not featuring more women. And now look at his fucking answer. Look at his hypocritical fucking answer. This guy is nothing but a fucking hypocrite, Mick Foley. Fuck him. Stupid motherfucker. That's off the script. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you guys are thinking. On the next part, we will talk about Goldberg versus Lesnar. Is it making Survivor Series outshine Hell in a Cell? Sasha Banks and Charlotte. Will they main event Hell in a Cell? Or did WWE retract the statement? And huge update on The Undertaker's health status. His WWE return in jeopardy. All this plus so much more all weekend long right here on Off the Script. Hit that thumbs up if you did enjoy. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the channel, and I will be right back here on Saturday morning for great WWE talk on Off the Script. I'll talk to you guys later.